Hello, I'm Marjorie Hayward, founder and chair of the trustees of a charity called New Friends for You. It's a charity which deals with loneliness. Now, loneliness is a concept you may not have thought of very much, but loneliness is a very important concept when we think of its impact upon health. Loneliness impacts on every aspect of our health and well-being, and when you become lonely, then it's very difficult to get out of the cycle of loneliness. So, what is loneliness? Well, it's a recent phenomenon because in the past we used to live in family groups. Auntie was in the next street, grandmother lived down the road, and so families were much more integrated than they are now. Nowadays, with social movement for work and university opportunities, children of the families move away. And so loneliness becomes more apparent as we get older and our families move further away. But it can occur at any stage in life, and it becomes disabling the longer it goes on. And it does affect both physical and mental health. As a lecturer and a nurse practitioner, I use this image called The Scream. It was by Edward Munch, and it depicts a woman on a bridge in despair, screaming from every corner of her being, screaming from inside herself. That is what loneliness feels like. I've got another image here of a young boy, and he says, "I'm afraid of the darkness. I'm afraid of the silence. Nothing can save me from my own screaming thoughts. I'm afraid of being alone." That gives you a little bit of the impact that loneliness has upon people. And here's another question for you. When does the loneliness end? It doesn't. When we get a cold or a fever, a few days later, with the right treatment, we're feeling better. That's not the case with loneliness. There are no drugs, there are no treatment for loneliness. So if it's such a big impact, how many people are involved? Well, doctors say that they see an average of 5 patients a day, that's every day, whose main reason for visiting them is loneliness. And 4% of doctors say they see 10 patients a day because that person is lonely. One of the people who was referred to my charity, one Christmas day a few years ago, dialed 111 just to hear another human voice. Fortunately, they referred her to me and we set her up with a weekly visitor. So how many people are involved then? Well, Age UK say that over 1 million pensioners now live alone, and over 14 million are over 60. And by 2031, that is expected to be 20 million people. So if this is such a big thing, what are the dangers of loneliness? Well, many of the researchers have said that it's more dangerous than smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And we all know how we had to give up smoking any cigarettes a day. And they say that the pain of loneliness is akin to physical pain. And a professor at Chicago found that loneliness is twice as bad for our health as obesity is. So loneliness impacts us mentally, physically, socially, emotionally, spiritually. So my message for you today in this health mailer is call your mum, call your dad, call your relative or your neighbour. Don't be put off by them saying things like, "Oh, I don't want to be a nuisance to you. You're too busy. You've got your own life to live. I'm fine." Don't be put off. Call them. Let them know that they're not socially isolated. You'll make a huge difference to their lives and you'll make a huge difference to their health and well-being. If you can't call them, find a friend who can. or call me on Friends for You 2016@outlook.com. Send me an email, send me your address, send me their address. And if you've got any spare time and you'd like to become a volunteer for my charity, please drop me a line on Friends for You, all in lowercase, Friends for You 2016@outlook.com. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. And for more information, check out our PDF file. It's on loneliness and your health, and it's very informative on looking at the impact of loneliness. So check it out, print it off, and share it among your friends. Thank you for listening.